my stuff.
Hello and welcome back to another tutorial video from this quirky tutorial series you found on YouTube. I am this guy John, and today what we're going to do is we're going to find out how to lip sync with audio. Now what we're going to go over today is drawing our mouth shapes and then syncing those mouth shapes to the audio that we upload to our project. Now first things first, we're going to need some audio to insert to our project. So right now I'm going to record a short little message using Audacity, and let's go ahead and start. This is a lip sync tutorial. I hope this comes in all right. This is a lip sync tutorial. I hope this comes in all right. All right, now that we have our audio, what we're going to do is we're going to export this to our desired file location. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to call it lip sync audio. All right, now that we've exported that, we can go ahead and close this out. Alright, now that we have our audio file saved onto our device, what we're going to do now is create a brand new layer on our timeline here, and this layer is where our audio is going to be. So go ahead and select the beginning frame, and now we're going to go to File, Import, and then Import to Stage. Now what you're going to do is locate your audio file and then press Open. Alright, a little bit of technical difficulties there, but I was able to re-export the audio, and now this should work now. So if you go to File, Import to Stage, and then select your audio in the file location that you have, and then press Open, it should appear on your timeline right here. So this is the visual waveform for the audio in the timeline right here. And now if we scroll through the timeline, you can hear a little bit of audio play as the timeline progresses. That's because I have my sound settings applied right here. So if you want to hear the audio as you're progressing through the timeline, make sure that the sync is set to stream, because if it's set to event or stop or start, it will not play like that. Anyways, what we're going to do now is make sure that our audio matches our timeline. Actually, we're going to make sure our timeline is the exact same length as the audio. So I'm going to go ahead and extend that. Make things a little bit bigger to make it easier to see. Okay, now our timeline is set to the exact same length as our audio format, and now we can begin. We're going to be lip syncing to our audio using the exact same method that we used to animate our expressions, except this time we're going to animate our face to match the audio. So right now we have a certain amount of face shapes, but we need to draw the important mouth shapes to match every single mouth shape for the audio. So here I pulled up an image of all the important mouth shapes that we need to draw. So here we need to draw each and every one of these mouth shapes for each and every one of these sounds. So or I or E or C or E, K, S, N, Sh, N, and then O, and then Th. All these important mouth shapes are going to be used as we're syncing through our audio. So let's go ahead and draw these shapes. Let's extend the timeline a bit, and let's create a blank keyframe right here. And just to keep the mouth shapes consistent, I'm going to turn on onion skinning mode, and let's zoom in a little bit further here. And make sure our brush settings are the same. So earlier in the other tutorials, I've already drawn the shapes for I, A or I, and then T, and then E, and then Sh, and then S. Basically this shape right here. Now something that I like to do when drawing mouth shapes is to draw a more stretched out version of the E, C, S shape right here, so that the mouth movement looks more fluid as the animation progresses. And the same thing goes for O and then Oo, so that we get more smooth mouth movements in the animation. So that's just something that you can do. You don't have to do that, but it's just something that I like to do when I draw mouth shapes. So let's go ahead and draw all our desired mouth shapes. Make sure that you're drawing on the timeline for the mouth. Okay, I went ahead and drew the rest of the mouth shapes that we need. So L and then Oo and then F. Those shapes are there. And now we can color them. So let's go ahead and color the rest of these. Alright, once you finish drawing your mouth shapes, you're good to now exit the symbol. Now if you look at your frame picker, you can see all of your separate mouth shapes in this frame picker that you can use. So now what we're going to do is scroll through the timeline and then pick our mouth shapes as we listen to the audio. Now in my lip sync audio, I'm saying this first. So I'm saying this, so we're going to need to scroll through the audio and then find the moment where I say this. I start saying it right here. So I'm going to tap on that animation keyframe section there, and I'm going to select the mouth shape that I have for the sound. Let's move this a little bit earlier so that sounds more realistic. Okay, after I say the, I go eh, and I'm going to switch to my E shape. The, And then we go through the rest of the keyframes right here. And now I'm going to switch it to my T shapes, or my S shapes. This. See that? I just spoke. I just said this. Let's go. And now I've successfully lip synced to our audio. And now I'm saying is, so I'm going to switch back to my E shape. I'm going to use the other E shapes as well. Now that should be the is part. Now after I go is, I quickly say A. So I'm going to switch back to my A shape or E shape. You can really use this mouse shape for A or E however many times you want. So long as you're using this mouse shape for those two vowels, you can use this shape however many times you want. So after I say A, I go lip. So I'm going to use my L shapes. And there we go. That's lip syncing. So let's continue going through the timeline. Now, as we continue going through the timeline, you're going to keep listening to the audio. And as you listen for more vowels, you're going to switch those vowels with the proper mouse shape that creates them. If we did everything correctly, it should sync perfectly.
This is a lip sync tutorial.
Alright, and that's pretty much how I do my lip syncs. Now you would apply the same process for sad mouth shapes as well. And then you create all those proper shapes using that little chart I had earlier. And you swap them out using the same methods that we used earlier. And you would scroll through the audio and lip sync to each and every one of those mouth shapes that you created. And if it looks like it's not syncing correctly, then make sure that you're selecting the proper mouth shapes. And if it still doesn't look right, you can always draw more mouth shapes to make it look more smooth. And that's pretty much it.
This is a lip sync tutorial.
Yes, it is, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have more questions, do not hesitate to leave a comment below. I really enjoy reading what you guys have to say, and I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying this tutorial series. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Have fun syncing your mouths to your audio files, and have a wonderful rest of your day.